Another day, another dollar. And we're back. We're back live for the Market Open. Look, we started off $500. $500, 5,000 people, and we're pushing through, seeing if we can get this to 100,000. We've just a community alone. You guys control everything, my buys, my sells. And yeah, it's a bit of fun along the way. We're currently down. We're down, what, $475. Looks like today is going to be a much better day across the stock market. So, if we compare what was happening last night it looked like the US were surrounding the coastline around Iran, 3,500 sailors. You have your warships there. We also have paratroopers ready to go in. Now, like I've been saying an awful lot, Trump is extremely good when it comes to getting deals over the line. And when I say getting deals over the line, his whole philosophy is around create a threat, then double down on your threat. And I think we're at the stage where we are doubling down. We're getting the troops ready to go in, show the might of the US military, show absolute force, and show that you're not going to back down. Say that a deal's going happening and give Iran no other choice but to participate in this deal. And I think that's what we're going ahead with. Now, today, what's starting to cause the stock market to push up, as a sign of respect, Trump says Iran are releasing 20 oil tankers through the Strait of Hormuz. And that is not only positive for the economy to get this oil moving, but it shows that Iran aren't doing exactly what they're saying with the whole propaganda and not moving to the pace that the US want to achieve. The US also came out today and said most of the 15-point peace plan has been met by Iran. Now, do I expect all 15 points to be hit? I don't actually think to get a ceasefire, 15 points will need to get hit. And I think that's what we're going to see fairly soon. Now, has this been done just in time for market opening? Look, I do question the moves. You get heavy escalation towards the close of the market, end of the week, and going into the weekend, and then it all seems to be bright and rosy coming in Monday morning. So we'll see how it progresses throughout the week. But look, we're about to go ding, ding, ding. At the moment, look, VU is pre-market 0.91% up, and there we go, ding, ding, ding. VU has opened 0.86% up. Ondas is still going down, and it seems to be going down quite drastically, 2%, and flying down. Zeta did have a nice push up last week, but then 9.51% down. Iron 0.17% up. IMAC, are we going to get a recovery? After what happened last week with UMAC, they did do a cash raise. ONDS did go in and buy some of their shares. But look, it just seemed to be a horrible end to the week when it came to either the drone industry. It seemed to be the whole sector, to be fair. Archer Aviation, I am expecting 480. So we are at 508, 0.2%. Look, the whole eVTOLs, even if we do get a positive day today, I don't think they are safe until you get complete end to the whole conflict in the Middle East. Joby Aviation 0.3% down. Again, Joby could go all the way down to 750. But look, if we hold this $8 range, I'd like to see by end of week, even if we could climb to that 850. Redwire did have a bad end to the week after a really nice push in the whole space sector due to SpaceX IPO and the whole NASA news around the moon getting announced. But look, it did drop off. If we look across to our portfolio, we do have Redwire included on it. So our average is 913 in Redwire, currently trading at what is that, 816. So we are down over 10%. Going across our portfolio, like we have Rocket Lab, my average is 66.72. We're currently trading at 61.26. Horizon Aircraft, average 145, currently trading at 141. I said Horizon Aircraft, I'd be quite careful, guys. It could go all the way down again. Dead cut bounce, potentially. Chris, I've seen that 20 oil tankers seem to be running through the Strait of Hormuz, and Trump seems to think it's a sign of respect from Iran. So are we going to get a little bit of a release? I'm hoping so. Walker wonder why. How are we doing? Big shout out, Mike guy. Velo got a 9.8 million contract. Guys, anyone that is interested in Velo, it's 3D printing company, and it did help with the build out of the Falcon 9. Andrew Halium, I had a thought last night when watching your live stream. It's a little tinfoil hat, but plausible. Archer bought Lillian's patents after they went bankrupt. You've talked with Goat and Dylan about the idea of Archer buying vertical. What if the lawsuit is intended to sink vertical and then Archer can buy them at a discount for their patents? They definitely oppressed them for Archer buying patents. Look, I think they'd be more interested in buying the whole company rather than just buying the patents. I don't want to say that they're intentionally pushing them with a lawsuit just so they can acquire them, but it would be a great strategy. Do you want them to buy vertical aerospace now? It's one of those we're sinking with the whole ship. So, look, we do have the cash on hand, but we don't know how long it's going to take to pull eVTOL out of this trench, shall we say. So, do we want to acquire them while we can? Potentially, but even if the whole eVTOL market does recover, I'm seeing that vertical aerospace are going to stay where they are. I just don't think that they're going to get that leg up when we do get the leg up. But I could be completely wrong there. Then Lightpath and Velo are the performers this morning. Let me go across to them in a minute, my guy. So Ondas, we did add a little bit more Ondas, but yeah, that whole Friday, all the sectors completely collapsed. 1079 is our average, and it is currently at 864. It would be a great opportunity to jump into more Ondas now, but we're 20% down. We're what are we sitting at? I'm gonna look up here 468 liquidity. I don't know. I don't think I want to add any more Ondas at the moment. And then UMAC is now at 1173, and our average is 1545. So we're down like 23%. Could add more UMAC, but then we're going to start overexposing ourselves in the whole drone sector. So, guys, do let me know, what do you want us to jump in and buy? We're currently around 10% down on our challenge at the moment. So you can see why I didn't want to put $2,000 in at the very start. Virgil have just announced an 800 million Janet's package, so unlikely they can be taken over by ACHR. Just announced that. Let me have a look at that, because that'd be interesting. Yeah, they have. Right, guys, look at this. Thank you so much for that, Anne. Right, so vertical airspace. Now we've been speaking about vertical airspace. They have made strong progress from key pilot aid flight milestones in advance in transition testing to launch in Velo. Today they're announcing a comprehensive financing package of up to 850 million to support the next phase of business. That includes 50 million of equity raised today, with a further 30 million expected shortly, giving them approximately 160 million available in near term to deliver key certification milestones in 2026. And if we want to see the finance breakdown, we can go into this here. So that's what we've read there. In addition to the equity raised, the new comprehensive finance package agreement in principle provides access to up to 800 million in additional committed capital across a range of facilities through 2027 and beyond. Existing convertible notes held by Moderate Capital to be amended to extend maturity from December 28 to December 2030, ensuring debt matures after planned 2028 certification and first Velo deliveries to customers. Moderate also to purchase up to 50 million of new additional convertible secured notes. Do you know what, guys? This is actually great news for vertical aerospace. Ignore everything I said this morning, and I want to give a big shout out to you for keeping an eye on this. Financing package structured to give Vertical the ability to optimize its facility options to promote capital efficiency across and access capital when it chooses. That's just an overview. We've spoken about that. So yeah, you know what? Vertical aerospace might be quite an interesting one. Dylan, have you seen this? Vertical aerospace have assembled a comprehensive financing package of up to 850 million today. We need to give a big shout out to Anne, who found this. So today they're raising 50 million and a further 30 million over the coming weeks, and it's going to represent approximately 160 million to execute key milestones over 2026, with up to 800 million then pushing through 2027. I don't think ACHR are acquiring them, guys. I think vertical aerospace is here to stay. So that's great news. That's positive news happening this morning. So thank you so much to Anne for getting that one out. CVV earnings at close today. Ooh, let's keep an eye on them. Market still doesn't like it though, and vertical still tanking. Do you know what? As I said to the guys yesterday on eVTOL Weekly, let's not worry about the market at the moment, because we can get quite emotional if we are in the likes of vertical aerospace. And if we don't have to raise capital, which, look, we're saying we're getting 50 million there. So they're not going to have to raise capital for a while. They're saying it'll get them through 2026 through the milestones. And then if we can just get a little bit of a base, I actually think vertical aerospace is going to be okay. I said, when it comes to the likes of ACHR and Joby, even if they were trading at 110, as long as they're complying and they don't have to raise capital, it doesn't really matter. What are guys thinking about options when it comes to Dylan has a really nice strategy when it comes to Archer Aviation. But yeah, Archer and Joby, instead of actually acquiring the shares at the moment, what about some of them leaps? Look, 497. Guys, we're going to hit that 480 we were saying. Same with Joby. I genuinely think we're going to hit that 750 too. What's happening? VU seems to still be up, but we're on the way down, are we? Yeah, so look, we could fill that gap, but at the moment it seems to be positive news, as positive as can be across Iran at the moment. Not financial advice just grabbed another January 2027 contract for 56 cents. Strike price, are you looking at $10, Dylan? I can't remember. Just when you think we know what's going on in one of the eVTOL companies, Vertical comes and surprises us. Do you know what? We need Anne by our side because she was straight on the ball this morning when it came to vertical airspace. Yeah, so Dylan strike price saves $10, 1088 break even. So guys, if you think within the next 9 months or so, we're going to push past 1030 or 1088, I think that's a great opportunity, guys. I don't know what's happening there. Could be a tough day for Joby as the lockup for 80 million shares is happening today. That's actually true. Yeah, look. Are we going to go much lower? We could push straight through that. Redwire down 1.47%. PANW up 5.14. Nvidia down 0.19. Guys, any of you big on Nvidia? That's actually quite a nice buy range at the moment if you were interested in Nvidia. Tesla is an absolute steal at the moment. 362. Remember last week when we got down to this sort of level and we pushed up to, it was around 380 or so and pushed back up. But 362 is an incredible price to get them at. Look, Horizon Aircraft, didn't we say? 133. I expect that to go much lower. That's going to start moving very, very quickly now, though, up and down. So it's going to be extremely volatile. If you can hold on, if you're long term in Horizon Aircraft, you can just hold on. I think you're going to be okay. Intuitive Machines. So, yes, with Intuitive Machines, we did have the likes of that push up due to Intuitive Machines actually got a contract for 7 missions landing on the moon. So we did get a push up last week, but we're pushing back down 2.11%. ATAI is up 209. Guys, are any of you in the biotech firm? Beta Technologies, we know Max let us know earlier that he bought Beta Technologies on margin and he's looking to swing trade them. Beta Technology is still going down 0.5% down. I expect a lot more pain there with Beta Technologies because Lockheed ain't up until May. And they're already like what? Coming towards 60% down from IPO. Planet Labs did have a great week last week when it came to earnings, but we're pushing right the way down now. 29.77, 3.5% down. But if we look at where Planet Labs was for the last few weeks, there you go. So we're always going to get a bit of a retracement. Back with Planet Labs. AMPX, getting close to my buy range. Guys, I said $14 is where I'm looking at getting in. So if we continue going down, I will be getting into AMPX. Rocket Lab, great opportunity at the moment. We're under that $60, $59.77, 189 down. Look, if we continue through really negative news, Rocket Lab could. No, Anyone that's bullish on Rocket Lab are gonna absolutely annihilate me here, but you could go down to $45 worst case scenario. But look, I'm extremely bullish on Rocket Lab. I think this is a great opportunity at the moment. 59.60, especially like look, SpaceX IPO is one thing. You have the moon contracts and over, but you can't write off Neutron and what that is going to enable when it comes to the whole space system side of the business. EOS, another battery play there. They're 477. EOS is actually consolidating there, is it? So if we get a consolidation here around this 480 range, EOS might be a nice little buy. I don't know how bullish I am on them. I'd need to do a little bit more research on them, but I know it is a fan favorite. Still drill. IonQ. Okay, IonQ is selling off, isn't it? 1.6 down. It's at 27.05, but compared to where it has been, we are dropping. Like, are we gonna start going into that $23 range potentially? Are you adding IonQ? Do let me know. Another battery play is ELVA. Do you know what? We'll look at ELVA in a minute, my guy, because I'm actually quite interested in the battery plays at the moment. Rigetti is down 1.35%. So Quantum seems to be getting beaten up as well as the eVTOLs. INFQ down 5.69, FEIM down 3.04, IBRX down 4.34 with SoFi 1530. Is it a buy right now? You don't want them dropping through 1480 anyway, to be fair. Yeah, it's getting towards a pivotal point for SoFi, 0.26%. I think SoFi over the long term is going to just keep chugging forward, but would I be buying SoFi? No, I don't know. Over long term, maybe, but not for this portfolio. We have Velo 209 and Velo, Chris did say, got a 9.8 million contract. Robinhood, we made 7% on Robinhood last week. And thank God we got back out because what? We're down. Did we drop that 7% again, or did we? It was around that, was it? But we are up 0.89%. Did we hit the bottom there when it comes to Robinhood? I don't know. It's a hard one. They are the furthest down when it comes to the S&P at the moment. So they could be a nice little buy. Should I do another swing trade on Robinhood? Potentially. I think the market at the moment is at a strange point. There is great opportunities going across, but there could be a lot more pain. But I am interested in buying something today. If the opportunity arises. I don't know why this is not updating. We're currently, if you want to get an update on where we are, this is where we are, 461. For some reason, this chart just does not update, but we will be getting Robinhood. We will convert the portfolio to Robinhood. So yeah, that was quite interesting. No, I wasn't expecting vertical aerospace. Gold Gains has put up that Stellantis and Palantir have just secured a 5-year partnership. So anyone that saying Stellantis was a failing company, yeah, that seems to be an interesting one. So Trump has just given Iran an ultimatum. He says the United States of America is in serious discussions with a new and more reasonable regime to end their military operation in Iran. Great progress has been made, but if for any reason a deal is not shortly reached, and this is what I mean about doubling down, you threaten, you say that a deal's imminent, you then double down on your threat, and then you get your deal secured. And that is The Art of the Deal by Donald Trump. So he says, for any reason a deal is not shortly reached, which it probably will be, and if the Strait of Hormuz is not immediately open for business, we will conclude our lovely stay in Iran by destroying, we'll say, and completely obliterating all their electric generating plants, oil wells, and Carrick Island, and possibly all desalinization plants. So that'd be your water, which we've purposely not yet touched. This will be in retribution for our many soldiers and others that Iran has butchered and unalived over the old regime, 47 years reign of terror. Thank you for your attention, Donald Trump. Yeah. Nice find with Stellantis. Do you know what, Dylan? There's no thanks to me. That was 100% goats. I'm just a reporter. So, yeah, big shout out to Goat for that. ACHR Aviation is working with air taxi Hopscotch Air to test concepts related to ACHR's planned air mobility operations. Hopscotch Air said Monday. And you are like a plug in this industry. You are getting all the information as it comes out. Let me see that. Where did you find that, Anne? Dylan, if you're free, can you see if you can send me the link on where Anne has found that hopscotch? I want to go back to Chris there. So, ELVA, let's have a look at them, my guys. Another battery play. Okay, so we're 3.65% down, but that is expected in a climate like this. They seem to have had a nice push up and they're starting to settle on that leg up. So that chart is looking very, very beautiful. You always want to see a nice little push up, pulls back around, I always say around a third, consolidates there and then pushes up. We call this the golden line. I could draw a Fibonacci retracement if you wanted, but no, that is quite nice there. ELVA. So are these on the Canadian market? Yes, they seem to be a Canadian stock. Market cap 523 million Canadian dollars. What are they? 991 Canadian. So they're expecting a 25% push. The analyst, but there's only two of them there. Price to revenue 4.31. Develop, manufacture, and sale of lithium-ion battery management systems, and battery-related products for energy storage, clean electric transportation, and other specialized applications in North America. The company operates Infinity battery cell technology comprising of low and high voltage systems. It also operates solid state battery technology. Company was formerly known as Electrofuel, 97 employees, and they're from Ontario, Canada. They have US facility and listed on US exchanges. Okay. Not telling me much about. Okay, you're getting a few owners. Total revenue. So we are talking Canadian dollars here. This is 15.793 total revenue, 4.772 gross profit. Operating profit 1.202 and non-operating income negative 0.249 million. Net income 1.05 million, and your EBITDA is positive 1.623 million. Your balance sheet. Chris says they were like forklift and commercial batteries moving into higher tech profile. Okay. So cash and short-term investments, they have 20. Let me go on the quarter. They have 25.074 million. Total assets 60, or total current assets 62.12. Non-current 37.63, and total assets is 99.754. Current liabilities were at 10.32. What's their short-term debt? 0.32 million. That's not bad. Long-term debt, you're looking at 25.871. Do you know what? They're not a bad little shout, you know. I don't mind them. Chris, you found a little diamond there. I don't mind them. Guys, I think ELVA is a buy right now. Anyone that likes them small little market caps, 335 million. Yeah, I think that's a little buy right now. Let me go back across. Okay, so I done a poll. What are you doing today? 60% of you says you're buying and holding. 0% are swing trading. 10% are actually selling today. Okay. And 30% are waiting for another dip. Do you know what? You make me laugh, you 30%. You've had a dip of a lifetime and you're waiting for another dip. Love it. Okay, so let me put another poll up. Okay, I've put one up there. Will we get a deal with Iran soon? Yes or no? Do you think we'll get boots on the ground? I genuinely think it is a pure threat to have boots on the ground, but I might be wrong there, guys. Let me know. Okay, so also, guys, anyone there, do smash that like button. It really helps me in the YouTube algorithm. Also, if you can, see that bottom right corner in the chat there, if you can smash that about 100, 200 times. When we done it last night, we got over 100 people straight into the stream. So yeah, the heart button, the party button, anything. smashed out about 100 times the reactions. It really helps me out. But I am aware a lot of you guys are at work at the moment. Right. The dip gets dippier. I'm not in, but it's on my radar in the battery basket. So, Chris, how are we feeling about the likes of Ondas and UMAC at the moment? We're all in the same boat now when it comes to Ondas, UMAC, ACHR, Joby. I think we need to not alcohol anonymous, my guy. I think we need to go to aerospace anonymous, me and you, because we're in a lot of pain right now. But if you don't laugh, you'll cry. So yeah, let's not worry too much about it. Let's see what's happening across the market. Guys, do jump into the comments and let me know what stocks do you think we should buy today. We'll do a poll and we'll see what we want to do. We're gone completely red in the portfolio and we're just losing capital left, right, and center. Iran says it never sought nuclear weapons and will not pursue them. Well, that's good. I don't believe that you never sought them, but that you won't pursue them. I don't think you can pursue them, can you? President Trump threatens to destroy and completely obliterate all of Iran's electric plants, oil wells, and cargo island if the Strait of Hormuz is not immediately opened. Trump ain't bluffing there. He will do it. The only thing that does worry me, he says Cuba's next, doesn't he? The cost of Iran war is 35 billion in 30 days. At its peak, it's 2 billion a day. Do you know what? That's NASA's entire annual budget gone in a month. That is wild. Yeah, everything's saying today Trump is in serious discussions with Iran at the moment. This is going to be over soon. I'm pretty sure. This is how Trump does it. He doubles down. He's only surrounding them there now. It looks like escalation. I don't think it is escalation. I think if they wanted troops on the ground, the troops would go straight onto the ground. Interesting, as it seems Hopscotch is more in the northeast, Beta's home grounds area. Okay, that's interesting. Let me see here. Right, Dylan's found the article there. So let's get that up. Is this going to be in French? Oh, no, it's not. Love it. Thank you, Dylan. So, Hopscotch Air Archer Aviation collaborate on air mobility tests. So, they've entered in a strategic partnership aimed for advancing the development and testing of air taxi operations, leveraging its extensive experience as regional air mobility operator. Hopscotch Air will provide critical operation insight to assist Archer in evaluating emerging technology and refining operation models for the forthcoming air taxi services. Operational collaboration. Executives, operations personnel, and flight teams from Hopscotch Air are actively engaged with Archer Aviation, conducting through reviews of existing operating frameworks while testing innovative mobility concepts. The collaboration enables Hopscotch to offer valuable feedback on the practical challenges and daily operational demands faced by air mobility providers. Andrew Schmertz, the CEO of Hopscotch Air, emphasizes the importance of its exchange, stating that their hands-on experience in regional air mobility offers significant value in shaping the future of the market. Currently, Hopscotch Air operates 1,500 revenue flights annually, primarily along the Boston-New York corridor, utilizing a fleet of SR-22 aircraft. The company's intention is to collaborate with ACHR, was initially disclosed in a 2025 December SEC filing associated with a $20 million funding round. Challenges and competitive landscape. Despite the promising collaboration, the partnership must navigate several formidable challenges inherent in evolving air mobility sector. Regulatory approval remains a major obstacle, with both companies required to comply with stringent certification and safety standards before commercial air taxi services can be launched. Additionally, integrating advanced technologies such as electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft into existing aerospace and operational systems presents significant technical and logistical complexities. The collaboration unfolds amid intensifying competition with the advanced air mobility market. Competitors, including Eve Air Mobility and Joby Aviation, are aggressively pursuing the development and deployment of eVTOL solutions, fueling skepticism regarding the viability of the timeline and widespread commercial air taxi adoption. The competitive, do you know what? They're chatting bollocks towards the end there. That's a nice little bit of news. Do you know what, Anne? I want to give a big shout out to you for finding that. Thank you so much for sending that too. Maybe the quiet times for ACHR's PR are those times that Adam is flying the globe to make the deal, and then the PR new release comes out. Yeah, I think they're stacking news at the moment. I genuinely think I think Joby's going down the same boat now. I think Joby put out the best bit of PR in the whole eVTOL industry. It was the best video. It should have been the most bullish video for all of the eVTOL industry, and it was met with complete negative sentiment. So if Joby couldn't pull it off there, I wouldn't expect them to push out anything more on a significant front until something can start moving the price, because there's no point. Wouldn't you, if you were a public company, wouldn't you start stacking news now? Like, at the end of the day, the stock price doesn't really matter until it comes to raising capital. So I think Archer and Joby are in quite a nice place at the moment. And if you are extremely bullish on the eVTOL sector, perfect opportunity to keep adding. How many people did we get? If Archer ever got below $5, I would load up. If Joby ever got below $10, I would load up. And where are you today? You are very, very quiet, my guys. So put your money where your mouth is. Chris says, love how people take victory laps about names going down when everything is going down at once. Yeah, I completely agree with you, my guy. Dylan says, great job, Anne, for finding that news today. Maybe they knew, maybe they didn't, but great job for both Joby and Archer getting their cash while the market was green. I completely agree. Do you know what? Joby done it perfectly. They done it just before all this started flying down. While Saddle says Hopscotch Air operates 4 planes, which is all right. I love it. Has anyone ever heard of Hopscotch Air? I'll be honest, it's a bit like Beta Technologies when they got that partnership with Royal Mail. I wasn't aware that you guys weren't aware who Royal Mail were, because to me, Royal Mail is like an everyday business, but you guys didn't know. Royal Mail is like the USPS of the UK. So they're like the UK's postal service. But me and Dylan had a great talk about that last night. Archer Aviation has just put out more. Oh no, they've just reposted it. They're now hiring exceptional software engineers. So, look, both Archer and Joby are really pushing forward when it comes to that. More and more jobs being advertised, which shows these are not failing companies. You do not keep trying to up your employee count if you're not doing well. AMD up 2.63% today. Love it. Anyone that's interested, Falcon 9 just done a successful landing there again. I'm trying to see what's happening across the market. My whole X is Iran, and I don't like it. I'm getting fed up of it right now. I can't lie. While Saddle says I'm waiting for a beta and I load up both 5x, then I just hold. Love it, my guy. Dylan says no clue on hopscotch, but I'll take it. NetJets would be a great one. That would show confidence to the industry switching over from those private jets. Actually, okay, so I put up a poll. Will we get a deal with Iran soon? 43% of you says yes. 57% of you believe it's going to escalate again. I'm in the boat that I think we're going to get a deal soon. I don't think we're going to get too much more escalation. But I could be wrong. I don't think Israel are going to be involved. I think that is going to continue, but I just think the US are going to pull out. The US have no need to be in there anymore. If Israel want to continue doing what they're doing, they can, but I don't know. Well, Saddle says, did NetJets make any deals with anyone? If not, maybe they will be a buyer. We can find that out for you, actually. Right. Guys, at the moment, we're painfully down. We started off with $500. We're currently at $458. We're completely red. Rocket Lab, we're what? Down 11%. Horizon Aircraft is now sitting at 128. We're down 11%. Ondas, we're down 22%. Redwire, we're down 12%. And UMAC, we're down 23%. This is painful. You can see why I didn't put 2K in and say, right, guys, we'll go for it. But yeah, I need you guys to let me know how much do you want us to start adding every month as well. I've just realized I haven't added the chat on the side there for you guys. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. Also, I'm not getting a live update on how many people are watching us on YouTube. So if you can jump into the comments and say I'm here, because it's telling me there's one person, which is myself, live on YouTube, but I can see you guys voting on the polls and I can see you guys in the comments for some reason. Maybe if I refresh it, but I think if I refresh it, it's gonna knock off the whole stream. Dylan says I'm here. Farmboy says I'm here, bro. So straight away there's two people. And I'm not engagement baiting, guys. No one else has to put here because that's just showing up. YouTube's numbers have been off all morning. Yeah, because it literally says one person on YouTube and 29 on X. So I don't know. I don't know what's happening, but we'll move. Let's see what's going on. across the markets. Okay, VU seems to be giving up a little bit. We're now only positive 0.29%. Ondas down 5.23. Guys, Ondas is a fantastic opportunity at the moment. 834. Chris said they had incredible earnings. So Ondas is a buy right now. Especially it was down 10% or so on Friday, and we're down another 5% there. If they did, look, Ondas get partnerships left, right, and center every second day, I believe. They more or less get a partnership or an acquisition. So I'm loving it. Zeta have turned positive. So Zeta were down heavily on Thursday, Friday, but they're gone positive 0.96%. Iron down 3.25%. UMAC seems to be stabilizing now. So UMAC, I now believe, is a buy. You can see that does seem to be a little bit of a floor there. So UMAC is a buy 0.85% down. Archer Aviation, still believe 480 is on the cards. Joby Aviation 793, still believe 750 is on the cards. Redwire, okay. If we break 780, I think it could be a long day. PANW is up 5.99%. Kev Smithy says here, big shout out, my guy. Technology has only ever moved in one direction. Forward aviation will be no different. Electric aircraft will dominate short range missions first as energy density continues its steady climb. Do you know what? That comment there is great. Dylan actually had a great conversation with me after the eVTOL stream last night about aviation as an industry and how the technology develops, not only in the electric space, but overall. I'm not going to say too much about it because I'll let Dylan put out a post on X. He has a great little metaphor with images. So, guys, keep an eye out for Dylan. There's Dylan11 on X. And says, just set a limit buy order for 770, ready to catch the sale of Joby when VC sets their algorithm, which is the VWAP, to sell small chunks every few minutes for a slow bleed this afternoon. Anne is a big investor in Joby Aviation. You managed to scoop up quite a few shares there last week as well at a steal. So, Anne, big shout out. Anne's a big eVTOL investor. What Saddle says, as costs go down for short trip aviation, then use goes up. In other words, more demand, more planes needed. Keep an eye on the VSE ticker, VSEC. I'll tell you the story about it, but it has been all up and have to go to the right. This is the first dip in 2 years I've seen. The VSE ticker. This? Or are we on about VSEC? Oh, okay. $170. Where were we? $228. 4.79 billion market cap, provides aviation aftermarket parts distribution and maintenance repair and overall. It's incorporated in 1959. And it beats on earnings the whole time. Could be a nice little one, but are you going to get a head and shoulders there? I don't know. Right. You want us to keep that on the watch list? I'm interested, Dylan. Right. Let me see. Okay, 14 of you says it will escalate. Okay. Right, I've put up a Q&A there. Guys, what stock has been your latest buy? Do let me know. Let me see something. Something's gone completely wrong with YouTube at the moment. Yeah, look, no information is displaying for me whatsoever. Yeah, I don't know what's happening there. I'll talk to you more on VSEC. Thanks for checking it. No problem, Mike. Guy beat a 52-week low just hit. Where's beta sitting right now, guys? That's a big bit of pain for Max from last night because Max went on margin on beta, and it is a scary one. 3.62% down. We're now at 52-week lows. Whole market is down, Christian says. Geranians effing with the tube. It feels like they really are, my guy. Hey, Christian. Yes, big shout out to Christian. Christian, any buys recently? Did you actually buy any more Planet Labs? Planet Labs seems to be entering that range where this is my sort of level now where the news has been sort of baked in around the earnings. No, sir. Kineas says, good morning. Guys, do smash that like button as you're getting into the stream. I really appreciate it. And also, you know what you have to do. You know them reactions, the bottom right corner, hit them about 200 times. It really helps me out in the algorithm. Wild Saddle says, Beta is Tesla of aviation after the first week of May 2026. I load the bottle and do nothing for a few years. Do you know what, Wild Saddle? I'd be very, very careful because even as the locking period is complete, it's still going to go through a stage of sell-off. So I'd be very careful just straight away loading the boat there. So 99% of Horizon 141 around an hour ago. Did you make on Horizon, C. Jernigan? Do let me know. Where is Horizon now sitting? Was I right? Yeah, 126. Didn't I say? It's going to start dropping big now. Ian, what do you think about earning reports getting cut to every 6 months? I prefer earnings reports every quarter. I like to stay updated on the companies, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of earnings every 6 months. How do you guys feel about that? Yeah, it gives the companies time to actually. I think sometimes we need to think. By the times we actually hear the earnings reports, we're already a few weeks into the following quarter. So we're always like, I don't know, backpedaling, especially if there's good news that happens the following quarter, because it's always baked in for the earnings call. Or if there's negative news that has happened in the next quarter, but you're reporting on the previous quarter. Actually, even if you had positive news on the prior quarter, this negative news from the following quarter has really affected you and sort of takes away from all your good. So maybe 6 months earnings does, I don't know. Maybe it does help the companies a little bit more, sort of, I don't know, stabilize their story a little bit more. I don't know. But look, my opinion on it, I prefer every quarter. But guys, do feel free to let me know. I'm also pretty aware that mug I have to hold weirdly every time it goes up because there's something that says on it that wouldn't really be great for morning time YouTube. And I nearly forget a few times every time I pick it up. Tesla, great buy at the moment, 0.34%. Tesla could be a nice little buy, guys. Be a technology extreme pain at the moment. Planet Labs, yeah, pushing down. AMPX, I'm telling you, that gets to $14. We are buying it. Rocket Lab, 59.22. I genuinely think Rocket Lab is a great buy. No, not financial advice. Could go all the way down $45, but Rocket Lab's my baby. I think Rocket Lab is going through extremely well. ASTI, Ascent Solar. Do you know if this energy crisis is solar something you'd be into? I actually think as this administration comes to an end, these solar stocks will go back into a nice little run. So yeah, it's a long-term time horizon. Hopefully Joby will be my next buy if it hits 770. We'll be buying Rocket Lab again if it drops under 55, as I like to be back in ready for Neutron launch in Q4. And we're gonna be right there. Let's cover that Neutron launch. I was gonna actually go out to it when I was covering Rocket Lab every day, but I pulled back on that a little bit. But yeah, we could start covering Rocket Lab a little bit more. But yeah, I will cover that launch too. If it drops under 55, yeah, if it drops under 55, I actually think I'd better throw the kitchen sink at Rocket Lab. So yeah, I'm in agreement there. Overall, down a tiny bit, but tomorrow I'll rebuild the low of the day. And again, sell the next morning pre-market. It jumps 5% pre-market and sells off. I was looking at that, see Jernigan. And it's one of those, it works until it doesn't. That's what done us with Redwire. But yeah, I do see what you mean. Like pre-market, we were up, what, 140, 141. So yeah. Can move quick though. Horizon can move quick. Rebuy tomorrow. Low Horizon Aircraft. Horizon Aircraft is a nice little buy. If we go around near the dollar, we'll be adding a little bit more Horizon Aircraft to our portfolio. But at the moment, I'm happy enough where we are at. VTOL got a 9.8 million contract today. Are we gonna build a little base there? If we go any lower, we are gonna drop. But VTOL 890 at the moment. Kev Smith did buy Joby at 790. Guys, you seem to all be adding Joby at the moment. So, oh, and you got a nice little steal there. 790, and we're up to 798. That actually could Joby could finish above the $8 range, and if they do, you've got an absolute steal there, Kev. So big shout out. I actually think that's a nice little buy. Yeah, no, big shout out. Redwire, what has happened there, guys? Redwire seems to have reclaimed the $8. Could be a strange one. Archer, we need to reclaim $5. Anyone buy Archer today? Seems to be very painful. UMAC. I thought it was stabilizing, but look, 1.1% down. Ondas down 5%. S&P seems to be pushing up a little bit more. Right, so let me have a look here. Yeah, like everything seems to be going down for me. Just in, NASDAQ speeds up index entry for SpaceX. Large IPOs with new rule. NASDAQ will shorten the timeline for newly listed large cap companies to enter the NASDAQ 100, allowing eligibility after 15 trading days instead of at least 3 months. The change effective of May 1st, and it also removes the 10% minimum float requirement. The move aims to speed up the inclusion of major IPOs, such as a potential listing by SpaceX. NASDAQ said asset managers broadly supported the proposal, reflecting pressure on index providers to adapt as companies stay private longer and debut with larger market capitalizations. Interesting one. Fed member says there's no evidence of inflation shock from oil. Lovely. Iranian media mocks Donald Trump and claims Strait of Hormuz has reopened, but only for 2 Chinese oil tankers. They'd want to be very careful because they seem to be mocking him an awful lot, and I think he's just going to lose it. And yeah. Spain has now closed its airspace to US military planes involved in the war against Iran. Spain would want to be very careful there because these terrorists are going to stay on them. C. Jernigan says, I have a cash account, so I have to wait for tomorrow to clear. It's on Robinhood. I like these low eVTOL prices. It gets rid of competition. Then survivors have the whole market to build their moats. That's why industries only have 1 or 2 leaders in each industry. Yeah, I don't think necessarily the low prices are what's going to eliminate the competition. I think the competition eliminate each other, don't they? As time goes on. HL is my buy today with some Ondas. CHL. So, Hecla Mining. You guys seem to be mad into mining, and that chart looks beautiful. So, 1777. You seem to be beating on earnings. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's a buy right now. What is it? Down 0.89%. Yeah, Christian, great buy. And says, nice one, Kev. Yeah, I completely agree. Kev got in at 790. And do let me know when that 770 hits, because I do think it will hit, and that would be nice. Yes, 791. Yeah, I think you're going to get that, Anne. And I think that's a great little snap up. Wild Saddle, have you bought anything lately? Do let me know. Anyone buying any Planet Labs? Planet Labs down on 745. No, I would expect it to go a little bit lower than that. Rocket Lab seems to be pushing down 58.70. Quantum seems to be being blitzed at the moment too. But look, the whole market does. SoFi it's starting to look a little bit shaky for SoFi now. I'm starting to expect a little bit more pain for them. Robin Hood, he's looking tasty. $66. I'm getting close to buying a lot more Robin Hood. I can't lie. VSEC is stabilizing 0.75%. Look, VU is remaining positive, and once we get stabilization in the S&P, then the industries will start following on behind. Christian says, I am out of cash now. That's why I'm just running out of powder at the moment. Yeah, guys, do let me know how much do you think I should start adding on a monthly basis into this $500 portfolio challenge. We're currently what? Are we 30% cash or so at the moment? Yeah, like we have 187 left. We've lost a hell of a lot of money in this portfolio, haven't we? We've 187 in cash, and we managed to lose 50 quid on 300 quid, have we? Yeah. So yeah, we're sitting at 456 in our portfolio. But yeah, we're feeling the pain of it. FML. Firmboy says, out too, maybe we should have started out shorting. Lol. That's what we should have done, yeah? If we just went straight on the short, we would have been we would be doing well, but I don't think many people would have liked us if we went on that little venture. Is anyone up here today on their portfolio? Let me actually put that as a poll out. I actually don't know. Can I put it as a poll out? Is it? Oh no, it is. It's working. Right, guys, please answering that poll there. I want to know, is anyone up year to date? Are you flat or yeah, are you in the boat with all of us? Are you down? Would we have been better just taking the year out of investing? Not this year, Dylan says. No. So Wild Saddle's not buying any stock, just sold beta many weeks ago. Pharmabuy is not. Christian says, yes, Pharmabuy, down. Yeah, do you know what? I think I'm asking the right people too, aren't I? We're all in the eVTOL space, so I'd be very surprised if any of us are extremely up on our portfolios at the moment. But look, we're building a nice little base. We judge our success on years, and maybe we shouldn't. Let's start judging it on decades. So let's not worry about this year. This year is a building year for us. Let's get them blocks down. Let's get the foundations built. And let's go again next year. But yeah, let's just stick with it. Let's not worry. Let this be our 2008 moment. We hope. We don't want more pain. Down 23% year to date. 1,885% all time though. Long games. long gains. Dylan, I love that. That is fantastic. Right. What's everyone saying? 14% says they're up year to date. Whoever's up year to date, jump into the comments and let me know how are you up year to date. What stocks have you been in or have you been short in? Do let me know. Someone is up year to date. Right. Anyone invest in Google at the moment? Google seems to be a nice little tasty play. The whole Mag 7 does. I don't know how bullish I am on Meta though. I think Meta is my least favorite of the Mag 7. Whose is your least favorite of the Mag 7? Okay, someone said they are up year to date, but they're not jumping into the chat, so I'm gonna presume that they're not up here today. People just love messing with a poll. While Saddle says waiting for me to buy Beta. It's my last major plunge for. I think they are rare. Not sure if Beta is going to be one of them. But loading the boat in May. Okay, I am bullish for you to be loading the boat in May, my guy. Christian is loading up on Meta, are you, my guy? What makes you so bullish on Meta? I think they are finally getting away from Meta name. What are they going to call themselves now? I know they're going away from the metaverse. They threw $80 billion down the drain. No, I hate Meta. Yeah, I'm not bullish on Meta. They're going back to Facebook, are they? I'm not even bullish on Facebook. I think Facebook was back in the day, wasn't it? Heavy bags right now, but still in accumulation mode. Buy when everyone is fearful and wait for the correction in a couple of years. And I'm gonna start calling Anne. Who do we call Anne? I've used up the name Peter Lynch, haven't I, for Chris? Do you know what? And I'm gonna find an investor and I'm gonna call them you because you have been coming out with some crackers this morning. I love it. Did you get in at 770 yet? You're getting close to it because we're at 783 at the moment. Guys, what did I say? 480. Next stop 350 if we break the 480, guys. So yeah. Can't believe I'm looking at Archer 485. It's a scary one. 126. Maybe MySpace. Did any of you guys have that MySpace? I'm too young for that. I didn't have MySpace. Was it MySpace or was it Bebo? Yeah, did any of you guys have Bebo or was it Bebo? I can't remember what it was. No, I'm too young for that. Maybe my age, but all I see Meta Facebook as an online scrapbook, and I don't get the whole AI build up from Meta. I think they have so much data on us. Is it just me, or is Instagram now bigger than actual Facebook? Like, they own Instagram, but like, I'm starting to think Instagram is starting to become more popular than Facebook. Bebo was class. I never had Bebo. I'm too young for Bebo, my guy. I'm too old, so yes, I had MySpace. Love MySpace. Yeah, I didn't have MySpace. I don't even know. I wouldn't know what MySpace even looked like. I'm deep in the red hole with Archer and Joby, but I'm still buying. Do you know what? Let's buy our way out, my guy. Let's do it. I think we're all in with you, Kev. Dylan says, yeah, I think we are. I had Dizzy Rascal. Oh, mate. Dance with me. Was it Dance with Me? Yeah. And Bonkers. That's another one. Yeah, Dizzy Rascal. You can't hate on Dizzy Rascal, my guys. I love that. Top 8 Farmer Boy. One of the top 8s was a cab driver from Miami I met one time. MySpace would go down, would bog down your computer. It's a crazy story on that driver, though. MySpace. And what was it like? Was it just like Facebook? You named his 2 worst songs. Do you know what? I wasn't like following Dizzy Rascal that much. Let me have a look. Let me know your favorite Dizzy Rascal songs. I wasn't following him massively. Oh, Baseline Junkie. Yeah. It was similar to Facebook. It would play music you would want people to hear. Oh my god. Send me a link. I think we need a Meta versus MySpace breakdown. You were probably too young. His first album, not when he went all bass. Do you know what? Walker Wonder Why. Let me have a listen to Dizzy Rascal's first album later on. I genuinely, nah. When did he start, like, becoming big? Farmer Boy still in haha. Isn't this wild? We went from like talking about stocks to talking about like Dizzy Rascal and MySpace. That shows the complete capitulation of the market at the moment. But yeah, Dizzy Rascal, my guy. Does he still perform? I'm pretty sure he does, doesn't he? Oh no. Do you guys remember Facebook? Oh my god. That was it poking? Poking? Where people would be like poking you and you'd have to poke them back and stuff like that. Oh yeah. That used to be wild. Or does anyone remember Blackberries and BBM? That was the days, wasn't it? BC me and that. Truth. Yeah, I used to think BlackBerry was the thing. The phones were shit, but like, no, BBM and that. Beta is pushing down 1383, 1.95% down. AMPX down 428, 1544. Rock Lab, we won. It hold that $60 range. While Saddle says we're looking for the next Facebook or Instagram of the high-tech aviation industry. Instagram was a good buy for Facebook, I can't lie. I think if they didn't buy Instagram, it could be worrying for them. Christian says, anything else down? Is anything else up? Hood is up at the moment, 0.65% down, but look, everything is red. ATAI is up. Tesla seems to be quite flat, 362. I think that's an extremely nice buy for Tesla at the moment. But yeah, space industry is falling off. eVTOL's falling off. Quantum's falling off. Healthcare seems to be holding all right. Does anyone use Threads with Meta? No, I've never used Threads. I remember when they started trying to push Freds. And do you know, the odd time I'm into Formula One and I'm extremely big on football. Well, I call it football. You guys will call it soccer. But if articles come out on like Instagram or so, and then they're trying to get you to sign up to Freds, nah, I refuse to sign up to Freds. They tried to take over what was Twitter by doing something very, very similar. I think a lot of these celebrities use it, but I don't know. Do we call X the working man's Freds? I don't know. Yeah, let's call X the working man's Freds. Because imagine we were all on Freds talking about stocks. Nah, let's keep the X. Maybe people would be nicer on Freds. They might be. X just seems to be like I don't know, a free for all, doesn't it? Pamela Lucky made some money. Are people bullish on an Android IPO? I think we're all bullish on an Android IPO, aren't we? Let me see where Kratos is at the moment. Kratos down 5.46%. Ooh. Ooh. I'd be careful buying Kratos now, and I actually think, do you know when the fundamentals and the charts marry up, and I think it is going to marry up because I think we're going to get a deal, a de-escalation, and then I do think we are going to start pushing down a little bit there. So yeah, I'd be very careful in the defense industry at the moment. Ondas. Ondas. Let's try and hold this level. Let's try and hold the $8 on this, please. Zeta. Some of you guys were bullish on Zeta. Others wanted to stay well away. Iron. Is anyone in Iron? I would hope they hold this level because if not, they are going lower. UMAC. Look, UMAC seems safe enough. I think we're going to hold that level there. Archer. Let's stick away from looking at Archer's chart at the moment because it just looks painful. There's a really nice gap there for Joby. So when we start moving, we're going to start moving nicely. Palmer Lucky is incredible. I think Kyle Clark has a chance to be the next Lucky. I'm going more about him than I am about the VTOL industry. I have to trust that he can make something great. Christian says no. Right. Let's go across. Right, guys. Can you do something for me? See the reactions down there? Do bang them about 1,000 times for me. I want a heart. I want I don't know, a party popper, whatever you call them, a smiley face. It really helps me in the algorithm. It really shares me out to more people. And also, if you haven't banged that subscribe button, it really helps me. I'm on the way to 5,000 souls. We're pushing forward. And if I don't get there, I think I'll just become a MySpace creator, a Bebo, the Bebo Finanza. And I'll have Dizzy Rascal playing in the background. I love it. Love it. Love it, my guy. Right. So I think this is a very dodgy market to start buying into. Long term, yes, great. For what we are trying to do with this portfolio, I think it's a very dodgy market to be jumping into right now. Over the long term, yes, it'll do well, but at the moment, we're having to do a lot of swing trading to try and get this off the ground. Once we get this off the ground, then we can start going a lot more long-term investing. But it just, at the moment, what if we just held these? We have $500, so it's not really going to move it that much. Guys, do jump in. Let me know if there is anything you want us to buy at the moment. So Let me run a poll there. For one last time, because there's nothing happening in the markets at the moment that will excite us too much. Did you have MySpace? Did you have Bebo? Did you have both? Or did you have none of them? Over Brinkman says tough day, extremely tough day. Do you know what? We've resorted to talking about different types of social media back in the day, the likes of BBM, BlackBerry, the likes of Dizzy Rascal being on the phones. Any of you have them blocky phones? I never had a blocky either. Christian, why? Then how can they say no if you have not read up on him? Here's the gist. He's a Harvard engineer. His thesis was on electric air. Lived electric air for 25 years, in your opinion. Let's not go to war over is Kyle Clark going to be Pamela Lucky? I think it's a bit of a strange comparison, though. Kyle Clark and Pamela Lucky. Like, they're doing something completely different to each other. So, I don't know. I don't know if I'd compare them, my guy. And that's not in an offensive way. It's just they're just not two individuals I'd have compared to each other. Like, why can't Kyle Clark just be Kyle Clark? I don't think we need to compare him to Pamela Lucky. Okay, so 29% of people had MySpace. 71% of people had none. Yeah, you're on the boat with me. I didn't have any of them. Someone sum things up for me. Are we going to war or not? I don't believe so. Go. I genuinely think that they're just doubling down. They're putting the troops around, threatening to go in heavy on Iran. We've seen the US say that Iran are going to free up 20 cargo containers of oil or cargo ships of oil. It's not going to happen. We're going to see de-escalation. White House have came out and said that most of the peace proposal, the 15-piece peace proposal, has been met. US will pull out. I think Israel will remain in. And yeah, I think we're going to see green days pretty soon. No, it's not going to happen overnight. But yeah, over the next month or so, I do think we're going to see a de-escalation. Well, I don't know. No, you have me wondering. Right. So let me have a look. Right, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. I'm going to be honest with you. I am going to go and create a few shorts, a few bits of content, and I will be back for the closing bell later on. So make sure to stick around on the Hustle Brothers channel, maybe around an hour and a half before closing bell. I will be back with you. But do smash that like button. Throw about 1,000 reacts to me before you leave the stream, whether it's, I don't know, a heart, etc. Just keep throwing the reactions out. Right, guys, until later on, I'll see you then.